Very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing good. In the last few sessions, we discussed service costing and we discussed variety of questions on service costing. I hope you guys are thorough with the concepts of service costing and you were able to solve the questions. Anyone having any doubts in service costing, or it's like, everything is good? Because I think I have discussed most of the questions of study material. Apart from the questions of study material, I have discussed few additional questions also. So I hope you guys are thorough with service costing. So now we are done with methods of costing. Now let's move towards the next part of the syllabus, the most important part, that is the management accounting part. Now, in this part, I think there are 3 chapters, that is standard costing, marginal costing, and budgetary control. And do make a note of it that examiner is going to ask you questions from all the 3 chapters, be it standard costing, marginal costing, or budgetary control. You will find a question from each and every chapter. All the 3 chapters, you will find the question. So we can say that it is this part can be categorized under A category, wherein all the chapters are important and you will find questions on every chapter. So without wasting time, let's start with the first chapter, that is standard costing, a very good and a very important chapter. And this chapter has practical utility also. So when talking about this chapter, standard costing, there are many formulas that are given in study material. Now, in this coming sessions, we will not be focusing on formulas, we'll be focusing on the concept that how come these formulas are derived. Because कई बार क्या होता है, स्टूडेंट्स को ये इशू रहता है कि सर इतने सारे formulas हैं, how to memorize these formulas. So just scrap out these formulas. There are no formulas in costing. We'll be discussing the concepts that how come these formulas are derived and what's the logic behind these variances, what we will be calculating. So when talking about this chapter, standard costing, we can also call it as variance analysis. Again, the name is costing, but it has nothing to do with cost calculation. It's a part of management accounting and it assists management in decision making. So when talking about standard costing, it's a part of now how it is going to assist management in decision making, we will be discussing throughout this chapter. Now, good morning, Anshu. Good morning, Almas. Now, how come this chapter is going to assist in decision making? That is all what we'll be discussing in these sessions. Now, let's start with this chapter. Now, see, guys, every company do set up benchmark targets or standard at the beginning of the year. I repeat again, every company do set up benchmark targets or standards at the beginning of the year. And at the year end, they do compare these targets set with the actual results. हर कंपनी साल के शुरू में कुछ बेंचमार्क टारगेट्स या स्टैंडर्ड सेट करती है, एंड एट द ईयर एंड दे डू कंपेयर दीज टारगेट सेट्स विद द एक्चुअल रिजल्ट. ना ये जो टारगेट सेट किया और जो ये एक्चुअल रिजल्ट्स आए, उसके अंदर कुछ ना कुछ क्या आता है, डेविएशन आता है, वेरिएंसेस आता है. So this standard costing technique help us to what? First, calculate the variances. Now, why these variances? What are the reasons behind these variances? That also standard costing technique help us to figure out. So first thing, They do calculate the variances, and what's the person behind, or what's the logic behind these variances, or who all are the person responsible for these deviation. That also standard costing technique help us to figure out. Let me discuss this concept with the help of an example. So let's say I set up a target that I'll manufacture 10,000 units. मैंने टारगेट सेट किया कि that I'll be manufacturing 10,000 units using, let's say, 20,000 kgs of raw material. I set up the target that I'll be manufacturing 10,000 units using 20,000 kgs of raw material. Now, at the year end, when the actual results were out, what happened? Instead of using these 20,000 kgs, we actually used 22,000 kgs of raw material. How much quantity we used? 22,000 kgs of raw material. We were supposed to manufacture these 10,000 units using 20,000 kgs of raw material, but instead of 20,000 kgs, we actually used 22,000 kgs. 2,000 kgs ज़्यादा use किया. So we can say these 2,000 kgs is what? My variance. This 2,000 kgs is what? My variance. Now, since it is not good for the company that the work was supposed to be completed in 20,000 kgs, but we actually used 22,000 kgs. So 2,000 kgs extra we incurred. So we can say this is not a good sign for the company. So we call it as adverse. It is adverse for the company. जो काम 20,000 kgs में यूज करके खत्म कर देना चाहिए था, we actually used 22,000 kgs. 2,000 kgs we used extra. So it's not a good sign for the company. So we can say that it is adverse for the company. Another example. Let's say again, we thought that we'll be manufacturing these 20,000 units. We thought that we'll be manufacturing these 10,000 units using, let's say, 15,000 labor hours. 15,000 labor hours. We set up a target that these 10,000 units will be manufactured in 15,000 hours. Now, what actually happened? My workers did a great job and they completed the task in 14,000 hours only. They finished the work in only 14,000 labor hours. So we can say again, my laborers worked 1,000 hours efficiently. जो काम 15,000 hours में करना चाहिए था, उन्होंने 14,000 hours में कर दिया. They did a great job and they saved 1,000 hours. So we can say company ने काफी cost save किया. So it's a good sign for the company. So we can call it as favorable for the company. Another example, let's say the company that apart from material and labor, let's say the company expected that my total overhead will be 5 lakh rupees. My total overhead will be how much? 5 lakh rupees. But again, when the actual results were out, my actual overheads were 5,50,000 rupees. 50,000 we can say extra cost. It is not a good sign for the company, so we can call it as adverse. So when the actual cost or actual expenditure exceeds the targeted expenditure, we can say it is an adverse sign. And when the actual cost is less than the target cost or standard cost, we can say it is favorable for the company. So herein we'll be calculating these variances, that target set और actual results में कितना difference आया. ये जो difference आता है उसी को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? Variances. And why this variances? So we do calculate the in-depth analysis that why these variances. So there's also standard costing technique help us to figure out. So first they do calculate the variances, and second, why these variances? Who are the person responsible behind these variances? That also standard costing technique help us to figure out. 1 second, guys. Adverse and favorable is not same. प्रियांशी, अगर आपका एक्चुअल कॉस्ट ज्यादा है एक्सपेक्टेड कॉस्ट से, हमने सोचा कि माय कॉस्ट विल बी ओनली 5 लाख, बट माय एक्चुअल कॉस्ट इज हाउ मच, 5,50,000, ज्यादा खर्च हुआ, सो वी कैन से इट इज एडवर्स. Herein, we thought that the work is to be completed in 15,000 hours, but काम 14,000 hours में ही खत्म हो गया. It means we worked efficiently. We saved our cost. So we can say it is favorable. It is favorable and adverse. I hope it is clear, Priyanshi. Yes, Priyanshi. Yes, Priyanshi. Any doubts? Yes, right. Anyways, you have to use adverse and favorable. That's it. Now, let's say I am running a company. I'm running a company, and what I'm concerned about is what the final results, that is profit. So let's say I set up a target that I will earn at least a profit of rupees 5 lakh. I set up a target that at least I will get a profit of 5 lakh, and accordingly, I provided man, machinery, material, whatever it is. Accordingly, I provided the resources. And depending upon the past trend, or we can say the industry pattern, at least I should get a profit of 5 lakh. This is what the target set by me. Now, at the year end, when the actual results were out, my actual profit was 3 lakh rupees only. My actual profit was 3 lakh only. So we can say it is a bad sign for the company. Company के लिए क्या है, 2 lakh rupees का क्या है, एक तरह से नुकसान है. So we can say this 2 lakh is what? Adverse for the company. I'll be writing A for adverse and F for favorable now. So I repeat again, guys, as the owner, I'm concerned about what? Profit. Now, accordingly, I provided man, machinery, material, and resources, and I set up a target that at least I will earn a profit of 5 lakh. But when the actual results were out, my actual profit was only 3 lakh. 2 lakh less than what I expected. So we can say it is adverse for the company. Now, can you guys tell me what are the reasons behind this loss of 2 lakh? Waiting for your answers, guys. Can you tell me what are the reasons that ये profit हमारा कम हुआ होगा? Can anyone tell me that what are the factors responsible for this loss of 2 lakh? Yes, everyone. So due to variance in production. Well said, Priyanshi. Yes, everyone, waiting for your answer. Shifa, Anshu, Hitesh, Jayendra, Neeraj, Prem Kumar, Rohan, Julie, Meenu. Okay, so Meenu answered. Yes, Neha, Priyanshi, everyone, Almas, waiting for your answers. So Julie, due to unskilled labor, or Meenu said that use of extra labor hour. Neeraj sir, inefficient labor and excess uses of raw material. Jayendra Pokhale, we can't say like this because accordingly we provided the man, machinery, and material, and we set up a target of 5 lakhs. So your answer is incorrect. Anyone else with any opinion? Yes, Almas, Anshu. I just want everyone to participate in the session. Resources not used optimally. Well said, Julie. Yes, Shifa, Prem Kumar, Hitesh, Sneha, Rohan. The more you will participate, the better you will be with the concepts. So I want everyone to post your answers. See, these standards are set depending upon the past experiences and the industry pattern. So we can't say that it is inappropriate standards. Yes, it may happen in some in rare cases, but in general cases, it is not the correct one. Anyways, guys, so see, when talking about this profit, how come we calculate profit? How we calculate profit? Very simple, sales minus cost. How come we derive profit? Profit कहां से निकालते हैं? Sales minus cost is what? My profit. So अगर sales में कुछ change आया है या cost में कुछ change आया है, then only the profit will change. So this deviation in profit can be either due to change in sales or change in cost. So these are the two factors that contribute towards profit, because profit is how come profit? How is the profit calculated? Sales minus total cost is what? My profit. Very good, Julie, Prem Kumar, Sneha, everyone. So how we calculate profit? Sales minus total cost is profit. So if there is any change in sales, the profit will be affected. If there is any change in cost, there will be a change in profit. So these are the two factors that contribute to this loss of 2 lakh. Further, when talking about cost also, again, it can be divided in three parts. As I said, there are three major elements of cost: material, labor, and overheads. As I said, there are three major elements of cost: material, labor, and overhead. Further, overheads can be classified in two parts also: fixed and variable. So at the end of the day, when we say that if there is any change in profit, either it is due to change in sales or change in cost. When talking about the breakup of the cost, it can be either due to change in material cost or labor cost or fixed cost or variable overhead. Sorry, fixed overhead and variable overhead. So these are the factors that contributes in profit. And if there is any change in any of these elements, the profit will change. So my point is, we have to investigate that why this loss of 2 lakh. As a company owner, what I will do, I have to investigate, okay, accordingly, I provided the man, machinery, material, and resources, and I set up the target of 5 lakh. But when the actual results were out, my profit was 3 lakh only, 2 lakh less than what I expected. Now, it's basically, it's not a good situation for the company. So I have to figure out that who is responsible for this loss of 2 lakh. Either sales department में problem है, या material department में problem है, या labor department में problem है, or the problem is there in fixed or variable overhead department. So what I have to do is, I have to conduct an in-depth investigation. मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? Investigation carry on करना पड़ेगा, that where exactly the problem is. I have to locate the problem, that whether the problem is with the sales department, that they are not functioning well, or the problem is with the material department, labor department, fixed overhead department, or variable overhead department. So I have to conduct the in-depth investigation of these departments to figure out that who is the person responsible for this loss of 2 lakh. So throughout this chapter, we'll be investigating all these elements only, and we'll be calculating the variance of all these elements. Now, from examination point of view, this part is not there in the syllabus. So at the end of the day, we'll be investigating material department, labor department, fixed overhead department, and variable overhead department to figure out that who is the person responsible for this loss of 2 lakh. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post further, giving you 2 minutes time to copy what I have discussed it over the board. So I request you guys to please copy the concepts, what I have discussed. Expected, Priyanshi. See, 5 lakh was the expected profit and 3 lakh is the actual profit. So 2 lakh is basically the 2 lakh is the loss basically the company. I mean 2 lakh is what I mean the I mean 2 lakh is the profit that I mean we were expecting a profit of 5 lakh but our profit was 3 lakh only. So our profit is 2 lakh less than what we expected. So we have to figure out that what are the factors responsible for this loss of 2 lakh. Priyanshi. I request you guys to please copy this explanation. So fine guys. Now let's start with the investigation of material department. As I said, that we have to conduct an in-depth investigation of each and every department to figure out that who are the person responsible for this loss or variance of 2 lakh. So we are starting with the investigation of material department. So let's start, guys. Now, so as the owner of the company, what I will do, let's say I have called the head of the material department. Now, I said that I have suffered this loss of 2 lakh and I think your department, that is the material department, is contributing to this loss of 2 lakh. So now, when talking about the head of material department, he will say that, okay, sir, give me some time. Let me figure out and then I'll get back to you. Now, what the head of the material department will do, what he will do, first thing, he will see that what were the target sets and what were the actual results. So, when talking about the target set, when he checks, let's take a question practically. We'll be discussing these variances practically with the help of a question. And accordingly, what he will do, he will check that what were the targets set by the company. So accordingly, let's say he figure out that the product we are manufacturing uses two types of material, material X and material Y. So the company is using two types of raw material to manufacture the product, material X and material Y. If we are using 60 kgs of material X, then we are using 40 kgs of material Y. The total inputs are 100 kgs. The company do expect that there is a normal loss that is at the rate of, we can say 20% of inputs. So we will be getting an output of how much? 80 units. So when talking about the company has set up the target that to manufacture our desired product will be using two types of raw material, X and Y. X will be used 60 kgs, Y will be used 40 kgs. The total input will be 100. 20% will be the normal loss and 80 we will be getting as output. Further, the company has also given that we have to purchase raw material X at the rate 5 and Y at the rate 4. So now the head of the material department is well aware about that what were the targets set by the company. So these were the targets that were set by the company. Now when talking about the actual results, actually of X we use 700 kgs. For Y we use 300 kgs. The total inputs were 1000. 300 was the normal loss and 700 was my output. Further, we purchased X at the rate 4, Y at the rate 5. So my total cost was 2800 for X, 1500 for Y, and 4300. So this is the data given. I repeat again, when talking about the target set by the company said that for every 80 units of output, company क्या बोलती है, for every 80 units of output, 60 kgs of X will be used, 40 kgs of Y will be used, total input will be 100, 20 will be the loss and 80 will be the output. कंपनी ऐसा नहीं बोल रही है कि सिर्फ 80 यूनिट्स मैन्युफैक्चर करना है. कंपनी said that for every 80 units of output, this is the data. Now my point is, what we have to do, we have to calculate the variances कि क्या हमने expect किया था and what were the actual results. So we have to compare and we have to calculate the variances. So my question to all of you, all the students, are these two figures comparable? Can we say that X का 60 use होना चाहिए था, 700 use हुआ, Y का 40 kgs use होना चाहिए था, 300 use हुआ? Can we say like this? So my question is, are these two figures comparable or not? Waiting for your answers, guys. I just want your opinion that are these two figures comparable or not? Good morning, Tanu. I think you joined a bit late. So very good, Meenu. Julie, very good. Okay, now those who have posted their answers, again, do explain the reasons also that why these two figures are not comparable. Very good, Jayendra. Yes, everyone, waiting for your answers. Do also post the reason that why they are comparable or not comparable. Okay. Yes, everyone, waiting for your answers. The more you will participate, the better you will be with the concepts. So I want everyone to post your answers. Incorrect answer, Julie. Priyanshi, I'm not getting what you are saying. Okay, Anshu, again, it is incorrect. The difference can be, I mean, high or low. So this is not the correct answer. Just give a logical answer, Anshu. Just try to post a logical answer. Priyanshi, again, incorrect. Okay, so I've got correct answer. Meenu, very good, correct answer. Prem Kumar, very good, but okay. Can you please brief Jayendra Pokale? Yes, Rohan, Sneha, waiting for your answer. So, Naina, minimum 80 hona chahiye, okay? Just try to post the complete answer. Sunil Kumar, waiting for your answers. Sir, not comparable because of one. Very good, Rohan. It's correct now. So guys, my question is very simple. The company has given, do pay attention guys. The company has given a budget that for every 80 units, we will be using 60 kgs of X, 40 kgs of Y. Input will be 100, 20 will be the loss, and 80 will be the output. So this data is given for 80 units of output. Now, these two figures are not comparable. Why? Let me take one more example. Let's say I'm the manufacturer of shirts. I'm the manufacturer of shirts. I have set up a budget that I'll be requiring 2 meters to manufacture one shirt. This was the target set by the company, that to manufacture one shirt, we have to use 2 meters. So this was the budget set by the company. Now, when the actual results were out, I uses 11,000 meters to manufacture 5,000 shirts. So can we say that 2 meter use karna chahiye tha? We actually use 11,000 meters? No, because this 2 meters is for one shirt and 11,000 meters is for 5,000 shirts. The output is not same. So very important to calculate the variances. What we need to do? We first need to check the output. Kya output same hai? See here, even though we are using 2 meters, but the output is how much? One shirt. And this 11,000 meters, the output is how much? 5,000 shirts. So 2 meters, one shirt. So for 5,000 shirts, how much meter we should have used? 10,000 meters we should have used. एक शर्ट बनाने के लिए 2 मीटर. This was the target set by the company. So for 5,000 meter, for 5,000 shirts, how much quantity we should have used? Very simple, 10,000 meters. But we actually used how many meters? 11,000 meters. So 1,000 meters extra we use, so we can say it is adverse. So to calculate the variances, guys, very important, we need to first check the output. Kya output same hai kya? If it is yes, then go ahead and calculate the variances. But if there is any deviation in the output, then yes, we need to make it comparable. So here, when talking about these 60 kgs, it is for 80 units of output. ये जो 60 kgs use कर रहे हैं, for how much output? 80 units of output. And this 700 kgs is for how much? 700 units of output. So here in the budgeted data is given for 80 units of output and actual data is given for 700 units of output. So are these two figures comparable? No, because their output is not same. Herein also, are these two figures comparable, 2 meter and 11,000 meters? No, because the output is not same. So to calculate the variances, we have to make it comparable. So herein, one shirt, 2 meter, 5,000 shirts, how much quantity is to be used? एक शर्ट बनाने में 2 मीटर, so 5,000 shirts बनाने में 10,000 meters यूज होना चाहिए था. हमने यूज कितना किया? 11,000 meters. So 1,000 meter is what? My deviation or variances. So very simple, when talking about material variances, the basis of comparison is what? Is output. So why these two figures are not comparable? Because ये जो data है वो 80 units of output का है और ये जो data है वो कितने units of output का है? 700 का. So we have to make it first comparable. So we have to convert this data from 80 units to how many units? 700 units. So we can say we will prepare revised standard or budget. So जैसे हम लोगों ने इसको रिवाइज किया था, 1 shirt 2 meters. So 5,000 shirts 10,000 meters, and then we calculated the variances. So again, I want answers from you guys. 60 kgs for 80 units of output. 60 kgs are used for 80 units of output. So for 700 units of output, how much quantity is to be used? Can you guys tell me? Waiting for your answers. 60 kgs are used for 80 units of output. So for 700 kgs of 700 units of output, how much quantity is supposed to be used? So I have got answer from Julie Kumari. Very good, correct answer. Almas, very good, correct answer. Jayendra, Prem Kumar, Neenu, everyone correct answers. Yes, Priyanshi, Kavita, Naina, waiting for your answers. Again, don't try to memorize the formula. Just try to understand this chapter with the help of concept. Very good, Julie. Correct answer. Rest all, everyone waiting for Prem Kumar. Why it is incorrect? Naina, why it is incorrect? Naina, it is incorrect answer. Prem Kumar, for why it is incorrect. For X it is correct, but for Y it is incorrect. Again, very important, Prem Kumar. See, this 60 kgs is for 80 units of output. So for 700 units of output, how much? Rest all waiting for your answers. Tanu Vishwakarma, incorrect answer. Naina, incorrect answer. Prem Kumar, incorrect answer. Naina, now it is correct. Priyanshi, now it is correct. Rohan, incorrect answer. Still you guys are not thorough with the concept. Tanu, incorrect answer. Almas, correct answer. Prem Kumar, now it is correct. Very good, Prem. Rohan, please recheck your answer. Giving you 2 minutes time. Those whose answers were incorrect. Sunil Kumar, very good, correct answer. So Tanu Vishwakarma, please recheck. Rohan, please recheck. I want everyone to post correct answer. Naina, please recheck your answer. Rest everyone correct answer. Very good, guys. Now it is correct, Tanu. Very good, Rohan. Now it is correct. So as I said, one shirt, 2 meters. 5,000 shirts, how many meters? 10,000 meters. The cross multiplication rule. So herein also very simple. $60 kgs for 80 units of output. So for 700 units of output, this 700, not this 700. As I said, the basis of comparison is what? My output. So for 700 units, how much? 525. Similarly, for Y also, 40 units, 40 kgs for 80 units of output. So for 700 units of output, how much? So to manufacture these 700 units of output, to manufacture this 700 units of output, how much quantity we should have used? 525 kgs of X is supposed to be used at the rate 5. And similarly, for these 700 units of output, how much quantity we were supposed to use for Y? 350 kgs at the rate 4. So to manufacture these 700 units, what should be my cost? 4025. How much should be my input? 875. If you will subtract 20% from 875, you will get 700. So to manufacture these 700 units, ये 700 units बनाने में, very good Naina, Tanu, now everyone correct answer. I appreciate your efforts. Very good, guys. Few students were not able to post, but then they corrected the answer. Very good, guys. So very simple, guys. To manufacture these 700 units, 700 units बनाने में total खर्च कितना लगना चाहिए था? 4,025. But the amount we have actually spent is how much? 4,300. 275 extra we spent. Anyone having any doubts till now, you guys can please post. I request you guys to please copy this explanation so that you can remember why we calculated this part. So I request you guys to copy this explanation and do write the comment that why we are calculating these two figures. Don't try to ratify the formula again. Understand that why we are doing this. चुना to manufacture 700 units कितना खर्च लगना चाहिए था 4025. But how much is my actual cost? 4300. So how much extra cost we have incurred? 275. Can you guys tell me it is adverse or favorable? Waiting for your answers. These 275 will be adverse or favorable? Waiting for your answers. Quick, guy. Very good, everyone. Very good, everyone. Correct answer. Very good. So we can say हमारा खर्चा कितना होना चाहिए था 4025. But what is our actual cost? 4300. Much more than my expected cost. So we can say it is adverse for the company. Now, since this is the difference in cost, that is, this is my standard cost, this is my actual cost. And this 275 is what? The difference in total material cost. So we can say it is material cost variance. Since this is the difference in the total cost, sorry, very good, everyone. Very good, Shifa, Tanu, everyone. So this is the difference in the total cost of the material. So we can say it is material cost variance. So I hope this part is clear that what is material cost variance? That is the difference in the total cost of material. Anyone having any doubts? Now, alternatively, we can also calculate material cost variance as, see, how come we derive 4025? That is, for X, we should have used 525 kgs at the rate 5. X हमें क्या करना चाहिए था 525 kgs at the rate 5 यूज करना चाहिए था. But for X, we use 700 kgs at the rate 4. Similarly, for Y, the quantity that was supposed to be used is 350 kgs at the rate 4. But we actually used 300 kgs at the rate 5. So herein my extra cost is 175 and herein it is 100. So this is how I got 275. So both the approaches are correct. You can calculate the material cost variance in either of the ways. Anyone having any doubts in material cost variance, then you guys can please post. Giving you 2 minutes time, whatever the queries you have, anything running in your mind, you guys can please post. Yes, anyone having any doubts? Yes, Priyanshi, Rohan, any doubts? Now see, the head of the material department is clear that, okay, the head of the material department is clear that, okay, I think I am contributing to the loss. Assuming these figures are in thousand, see 275 is a very nominal amount. Assuming these figures are in thousand. So now the head of the material department is well aware about that uske department ने कुछ तो loss में contribute किया. Now again, he has to figure out, see again, he is the head of the material department. In material department also, there are various persons who are working in material department. Now, he has to figure out in his department who is contributing to this loss of 275. Now, see, very important. How come this loss? ये जो 275 का loss आया ये क्यों आया? Again, two factors are responsible. There is a change in quantity that is 525 use करना चाहिए था, but we actually use 700. Herein also, we were supposed to use 350, but we used 300. So, when talking about this loss, overall cost variance in material, first thing that is responsible is what? Quantity. So, there is a change in quantity. And second thing, apart from quantity, there is a change in price. That is, X was supposed to be purchased at the rate 5, but we actually purchased at the rate 4. Similarly, for Y also, Y was supposed to be purchased at the rate 4, but we actually purchased Y at the rate 5. So two factors are responsible for this material cost variance. First one is what? The change in price. We can say first one is what? The change in price, and second one is what? The change in quantity. Quantity change hua or price change hua. Now, very important when talking about the price part. It's not abnormal loss, Prem Kumar. Yes, right. Well said. It is abnormal loss, Prem. Yes. Now, guys, when talking about price, who is responsible for managing up the price? The purchase manager. Who is responsible to manage the price? That is the purchase manager. Now, purchase manager को target दिया था कि you have to purchase X at the rate 5. Let's so now I repeat again, guys. So head of the material department is well aware about that. Okay, there is a loss in department. Now, what he will do, he will first call the purchase manager. That Mr. Purchase Manager, I think you are contributing to this loss. So please give me a reasonable answer. Now, guys, very important. Listen to the explanation given by the purchase manager. I repeat again, the head of the material department is now, I have calculated that, okay, his department is contributing to the overall loss of the company. Now, what head of material department will do? He will call the purchase manager. And he will say that, okay, Mr. Purchase Manager, please explain about your work done. So now, very important, guys, please listen to the explanation of purchase manager. What purchase manager says that, okay, you told me to purchase X at the rate 5. Purchase manager क्या बोलता है कि the company told me to purchase raw material X at the rate 5. But I purchased it at the rate how much? 4. Similarly, for Y also, I was supposed to purchase Y at the rate 4, but okay, I purchased it at the rate 5. Now, the quantity I actually purchased is how much? 700 and 300. The quantity I actually purchased is 700 and 300. I repeat again, guys, please do pay attention to the explanation given by the purchase manager. What purchase manager says? Purchase manager का काम क्या होता है? To purchase the raw material at the competitive price. What is the job of purchase manager? To purchase the raw material at the competitive price. So the purchase manager was advised to purchase X at the rate 5, but he purchased at the rate 4. Similarly, for Y also, he was advised to purchase at the rate 4, but he actually purchased at the rate 5. Now, purchase manager will say that, okay, this is the deviation and this is the quantity I actually purchased. ये quantity मैंने actually purchase की है. So here I have made a profit of 700, that is 5 minus 4, 1 rupees less than 1 rupees less is the cost into 700. So 700 favorable, and here the price is more, so it is 300 adverse. So still there is a profit of how much? 400. So purchase manager says that, okay, even though I purchased Y at the price of rupees 5 instead of 4, but still I'm contributing to this profit. I'm not contributing to loss. I'm contributing towards the profit of the company, and I have made a profit of 400. So this is what the explanation given by the purchase manager. Now, guys, very important. The price is okay. The purchase manager is required to purchase the raw material at the competitive price. So the price comparison is okay. But very important, Why I have taken this actual quantity? That is a big question. ये जो 700 300 क्यों लिया? That is the big question. So let me explain, guys. परचेज मैनेजर का काम क्या होता है? टू परचेज द रॉ मटेरियल एट द कॉम्पिटिटिव प्राइस. His duty is to purchase the raw material at a competitive price. Now, purchase manager has nothing to do with आप वो रॉ मटेरियल का क्या करते हैं और कैसे यूज करते हैं. परचेज मैनेजर इज जस्ट कंसर्न अबाउट द प्राइस. अब वो जो रॉ मटेरियल परचेज मैनेजर ने परचेज किया है, अब वो रॉ मटेरियल आप घर पे लेके जाएं या इनएफिशिएंटली यूज करें या वेस्ट करें, दिस इज नॉट द जॉब ऑफ द परचेज मैनेजर. परचेज मैनेजर का काम खत्म कहां पे हो जाता है? दैट ही परचेजेस द रॉ मटेरियल. नाउ हिज वर्क or his results will be judged on the basis of quantity purchase. What generally happens in the company is, generally companies में क्या होता है, what company people do, as I have discussed in material also, that is material costing also, that production department क्या करता है, purchase department को call करता है that okay, I'll be needing this much quantity of raw material. So accordingly, once they issue the purchase requisition, purchase manager purchases the raw material. Now, purchase manager, as I said, has nothing to do with how much quantity we will be actually using and how much quantity was supposed to be used. So he simply get the instruction for the company that this much you have to purchase. We call it as purchase requisition. This is what we have discussed in material costing also. So they were advised to purchase 700 and 300, and they actually purchased 700 and 300. तभी ये raw material use हुआ होगा. So purchase manager को प्रोडक्शन मैनेजर के काम से कोई मतलब नहीं है. द प्रोडक्शन मैनेजर सेड दैट यू हैव टू परचेज मटेरियल. अब ये अपने मन से तो परचेज करेगा नहीं. 700 300 जो यूज हुआ है वो कहां से यूज हुआ होगा? परचेज मैनेजर ने परचेज किया होगा तब यूज हुआ होगा. So very simple, when talking about judging the work done by the purchase manager, will be using actual quantity. So here in 700 and 300, we are not taking 525 and 350. The reason being is that purchase manager has nothing to do that क्या raw material use होना चाहिए था, क्या raw material use हुआ. Purchase manager is concerned only about the price, that how much price we were supposed to pay and how much price we have actually paid into the quantity that is actually purchased. So this part is the key, that I have taken actual quantity rather than standard quantity. Now, since this is the deviation in the price, that is, ये price में खरीदना चाहिए था, ये price में खरीदा. So this is the deviation in the price. So we can say it is material price variance. Anyone having any doubts that why I have taken actual quantity, why I have compared the price? You guys can please post your query. Waiting for your queries. Yes, Priyanshi, Rohan, Almas, Prem Kumar, Neeraj, anyone having any doubts? So guys, again, don't try to rectify. If you have any doubts that why I have taken standard price, actual price, this actual quantity, why I have not taken this standard quantity, you guys can please post your queries. By the end of the session, I just want you guys to be thorough with material variances. So whatever the queries you have, you guys can please post. Giving you 2 minutes time. Try to analyze what I have discussed, and accordingly, you guys can post the queries. Yes, Rohan, can you please advise what all will be the material variances? Well said. So herein the purchase manager is important because the price is involved, and herein the production manager is involved because the quantity is involved. Very good, Rohan. I hope this part is clear, Rohan, that why I have used actual quantity. Yes, Rohan, Priyanshi, Prem Kumar, Neeraj, Shifa. Anyone having any doubts? Meenu, Naina, Tanu, Sunil Kumar. Anyone with any doubts? See, the point is in this price variance, this part is the key, that why we are taking actual quantity. Very simple. Purchase manager has nothing to do with production manager. He receives purchase requisition that this much quantity you have to purchase, and accordingly he has purchased. The purchase manager will purchase only that much of quantity which is instructed by the company. So his performance should be judged on the basis of quantity actually purchased rather than the quantity actually used. I'll write this for your reference also. You guys can copy. The performance of purchase manager will be evaluated on the basis of quantity he actually purchased rather than the quantity used by production manager. This part is the key, very important, guys. Why I have taken 700, 300. This is the key. See, purchase manager में price comparison होगा because we are calculating material price variance. So there will be a comparison of price. But why actual quantity? That is the key. So I request you guys to please copy this part at least. I'll be erasing this part. Please copy this part. That very simple, guys. The performance of the purchase manager will be evaluated on the quantity actually purchased rather than the quantity used by the production manager. So now, purchase department, purchase manager has given his explanation, and instead of loss, he has contributed towards the profit of the company. So now I think the person who is in radar is what? The production manager. Because उसने परचेज मैनेजर का तो प्रॉफिट अब्सॉर्ब किया ही किया, उसके अलावा एक्स्ट्रा और एडिशनल लॉस किया. So here we can say there is an overall loss of 275 and here it is a profit of 400. It means 675 is the loss that is done by the production manager. So now the purchase manager is free. Now what the head of the material department will do, he will call the production manager. That, my dear friend, I think you are the person responsible for this loss. Now guys, do pay attention to the explanation given by the production manager. Very important, guys, do pay attention to the explanation given by the production manager. So now, when talking about the work done by the production manager, what he says that, okay, let me explain. The quantity, again, production manager is responsible for the quantity used. The quantity I was supposed to use to manufacture these 700 units was how much? 525 for X and 350 for Y. This was the quantity I was supposed to use. The quantity I actually used is how much? 700 and 300. This was the quantity that was supposed to be used. This was the quantity that is actually used. Now, herein we can calculate the difference in quantity, but again, we have to explain all the variances in monetary terms. Now, herein we have to multiply with the price. So now, जैसे purchase manager को कोई लेना देना नहीं है, what production manager is doing? So similarly, production manager has nothing to do with the work done by the purchase manager. I repeat again, production manager has nothing to do with the work done by the purchase manager. When talking about the work actually done by the purchase manager, it's the purchase price. So purchase price जो है हम लोग इधर क्या लेंगे, standard price लेंगे, actual price नहीं लेंगे, because actual price represents what, the work actually done by the purchase manager. So production manager को कोई लेना देना नहीं है purchase manager ने क्या किया. They are concerned only about the quantity, और उनके लिए यही price होगा 5 and 4. Because if we take 4 and 5, it will give the impact of the work of the purchase manager also. And production department or production manager का performance जो है, we do evaluate independently. So here we'll be taking the standard price 5 and 4 because production manager has nothing to do with the purchase manager, and his performance will not be dependent upon the performance of the purchase manager. So this will be 200 favorable and this will be 875 adverse. So as I said, 400 favorable and 275 loss. So we can say it is overall loss of 675. We can say 675 adverse. So 675 adverse and 400 favorable is 275. So the net loss is 275. 675 is the loss that is done by the production manager, and 400 is the profit that is given by the purchase manager. So accordingly, we have got this loss of 275. Now here, there is basically the production manager के अंदर क्या किया? Basically, we have compared that the quantity that was supposed to be used and the quantity that is actually used. So here it reflects what? The difference in usage of material. So we can say it is material usage variance. Anyone having any doubts? Any conceptual queries? I'm done with material usage variance. Yes. Asking everyone, I hope this part is clear. See, this part is important, that why I have taken actual quantity, and this part is important, that why I have taken standard price. If we have taken the actual price, तो क्या होता है, इस वेरिएंस में परचेज मैनेजर का भी इंपैक्ट आ जाता. So very important, their performance will be judged independently and calculated independently. So herein, in price variances, we have calculated, we have used the actual quantity. Why? Because purchase manager will say that I am not at all concerned about कि कितना quantity use होना चाहिए था. My performance will be evaluated only on the basis of the quantity I actually purchased. So accordingly, we calculated price variance. And similarly, in usage variance also, very simple, we are taking standard price. Why standard price? Because actual price represents the work done by the purchase manager. I hope this part is clear to all. Waiting for your queries. Else I'll be posting queries now. Yes, Priyanshi, any doubts? Rohan, Neeraj, Meenu, Tanu, Naina. Jayendra, Anshu, Miss Pooja, you have joined a bit late. Yes, Priyanshi, well said. So now this part is clear that the production manager is the person responsible for this loss of 275 in the material department. But the company will not remove production manager because he is the in charge of production. ना परचेज मैनेजर के नीचे भी बहुत सारे सबऑर्डिनेट्स होते हैं. We'll be discussing this part, but as of now, waiting for your queries. When talking about the price variance, it reflects the work done by the purchase manager. And when talking about the usage variance, we can say it reflects the work done by the production manager. Yes, anyone having any doubts? Waiting for your queries. Okay, Pooja. Waiting for your queries. Again, don't try to memorize the formulas. Just try to memorize the concept that why, how come these formulas. So this part is the key, guys. Try to analyze what I have discussed, giving you 2 minutes time to post your queries. Because again, this part is the key. All the labor variances are dependent upon material variances. So I want you guys to be thorough with material variances first. I'll repeat again, guys, the things what I have discussed till now. So herein, this was the budgeted data, this was the actual data. These two data were not comparable because their output was not same. So we calculated revised standard, and accordingly, we have calculated this data that for these 700 units, for this 700 units of output, how much quantity was supposed to be used at what price, and what should be my total cost. So this, what should be my total cost? 4,025, and what is my actual cost? 4,300. So there is a deviation of 275. We call it as material cost variance. Herein again, material cost variances, how we can calculate it in alternative way also. That 525 kgs we were supposed to use at the rate 5, and the quantity that is actually used is 700 at the rate 4. Similarly for Y, and accordingly we have calculated material cost variance. Now the cost, there is a deviation in cost. It is due to two factors, either because of the price or because of the quantity. When talking about the price, it reflects the work done by the purchase manager. When talking about the quantity, it reflects the work done by the production manager. When talking about the price variance, the name itself says price. Price को compare करना है. So 5 minus 4, 4 minus 5. Into, very important, will be taking actual quantity rather than standard quantity. Why actual quantity? Because purchase manager will say that my performance is to be evaluated on the basis of quantity I actually purchased. क्या यूज होना चाहिए था, क्या यूज हुआ, this is none of my business. So this was basically the work done by the purchase manager. When talking about the production manager, it talks about the quantity. That is, क्या quantity use होना चाहिए था, क्या quantity use हुआ. And similarly, production manager has nothing to do with purchase manager. They are only concerned about this price. They will take only this price. So 5 and 4. This is what material usage variance. Yes, Tanu, I have made these figures comparable. See, when you find a question on material costing, material variances, sorry, whenever you find a question on material variances, first thing what you have to check is the budgeted output and the actual output. अगर budgeted output और actual output same है, if budgeted output and actual output are same, no need to calculate revised standard. अगर budgeted output, actual output same है, no need to prepare revised standard. We have to prepare revised standard only when the budgeted output is not, I mean, budgeted output and actual output are not same. I hope it is clear, Tanu. Yes, Tanu. Okay. So fine, guys. Let's take a break. 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with the remaining part. So, admin sir, are you there? Ayat sir, are you there? Admin sir, are you there? Fine, guys. Let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes. Thank you, guys. Admin sir, are you there? Admin sir, are you there? Ayaz sir, are you there? Sorry. So welcome back, my friends. So we are done with material cost variance, price variance, and usage variance. Now, very important, guys. When talking about the production manager, the company can't remove him because he's the production manager. But again, there are two more persons working under the production manager. Production manager is what? The person who will check the usage of material. So here there are two more persons also who are working under production manager. The first one is the engineer, and the second one is the production supervisor. So when talking about the engineer, when talking about the engineer, his job is what? To maintain the mix of the material. His job is what? To maintain the mix of material. So when talking about the engineer, the company said that whatever the inputs you are making, it should be in the ratio of 60 is to 40. I repeat again, when talking about the engineer, his job is what? To maintain or manage the mix of material. Since there are two or more than two raw materials involved, then the mix is important. So herein there are two materials involved, X and Y. So again, the responsibility of engineer is what? To maintain the mix. That is, the mix should be adequate. So the company advised that the mix should be in the ratio of 60 is to 40. However, the engineer changed the mix from 60 to 40 to 70 to 30. So ये mix की वजह से भी quantity पे impact आया है. So here, when talking about the work of the engineer, we do check the mix of material. So herein we calculate material mix variance. That is, what is the deviation in the mix? Now, very important, my budgeted mix was 60 is to 40 and my actual mix was 70 is to 30. So we can say my actual input is how much? 1000. It should be in the ratio of 60 is to 40. That is, हम लोग जो भी actually input करते हैं उसका ratio क्या होना चाहिए था? 60 is to 40. That is, 1000 का mix is 600 is to 400. But actually mix कितना हो गया? 70 is to 30, that is 700 is to 300. Into again, since these are the subordinates of the production manager, so they have nothing to do with actual price, we'll be taking the standard price only, that is 5 and 4. So here it is 500 adverse and herein it is 400 favorable. So net adverse it is 100. So herein, when talking about the usage, that is 525 use होना चाहिए था, 700 use हुआ, 350 use होना चाहिए था, 300 use हुआ. So there is a change in usage. So it can be either due to the change in mix or due to change in overall usage. So if you guys have any doubts in the mix part, you guys can please post your query. Now let's go towards the next part, that is the production supervisor part. His job is to make the optimum utilization of material. प्रोडक्शन सुपरवाइजर का काम क्या होता है? मटेरियल को प्रॉपरली यूज करना. He is the person who is actually responsible for production. He checks that the whether the material is put it into the process and whether there is wastage of material or not. So production supervisor is the person who is actually responsible for production. Now, here we do calculate material yield variance. Now see, these 700 units were supposed to be manufactured as per this data. It means the overall usage should not be more than 875. These 700 units कितने kgs में manufacture होना चाहिए था? Overall 875 kgs. These 700 units are to be manufactured in 875 kgs, but actually these 700 units were manufactured in 1000 kgs. It means 125 kgs extra we used. I repeat again, the overall usage, it should be 875 kgs to manufacture 700 units of output. But to manufacture 700 units of output, the quantity we actually used is 1000 kgs. That is 125 kgs हमने extra use किया. Now these 125 kgs can be of X also, can be of Y also. So my point is, which price we should take? 5 ले, 4 ले, या average price ले, या weighted average price ले. So the best approach is, the correct approach is that take weighted average price. See, 125 kgs can be some quantity of X also, some quantity of Y also. So the point is, which price we should use? We will use the weighted average price, that is the standard price. That is 525 into 5, that is 2625. 355, 350 into 4, that is 1400. So the total cost is 4025 for 875 kgs. So this will be 575 adverse. So this is material yield variance, which talks about the overall usage, that kitne raw material use करके units produce करना था. So herein, the total quantity that was supposed to be used is 875 kgs. The quantity we actually used is 1000 kgs. So how much quantity we extra used? 125 kgs. These 125 kgs can be from X also, can be from Y also. So which price we should take? We should take the weighted average standard price. If you guys have any doubts or queries in this part, you guys can please post. When talking about cost variance, it is 275. Price variance, it talks about the deviation in the price into actual quantity. When talking about the usage variance, it talks about the overall usage. But since the variance are to be explained in monetary terms, so we are taking the standard price, because again, the production manager or his subordinates has nothing to do with the work done by the purchase manager. Now, there is an overall difference in usage. There are two reasons, either due to change in mix or due to change in overall usage. So when talking about the mix, the engineer is responsible. When talking about the overall usage, जिसका काम क्या होता है, प्रोडक्शन सुपरवाइजर का काम क्या होता है, मटेरियल को मशीन में डालना और यूनिट्स मैन्युफैक्चर करना. So herein, when talking about his work, he used 125 kgs extra. Either there are chances of theft of material, or we can say misusage of material or loss of material. So I think he's the person responsible for this loss of 575 adverse. So here, this is the summary sheet of material cost, material variances. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. Yes, anyone having any doubts? Yes, Tanu, Priyanshi, Hitesh, Pooja. Meenu, Rohan. Neeraj, any doubts? We can say it is sub-usage also, Hitesh. So can you guys tell me, okay, the material department is suffering a loss of 275. Can you guys tell me who is the person ultimately responsible for this loss? Yes, Tanu, well said that the ultimate defaulter is production supervisor. या तो वो रॉ मटेरियल चोरी करके घर पे लेके गया है, या फिर we can say there is a loss or wastage of material. So that can be either due to loss or wastage of material, or it can be due to theft of material also. So when talking about material yield variance, Pooja, very simple. These 700 units are to be manufactured using 875 kgs of raw material. But actually, to manufacture these 700 units, we used 1000 kgs. That is 125 kgs extra we used. So, when talking about these 125 kgs, it can be of X also, it can be of Y also. So, which price we should take? We can take the weighted average price. Again, there are 2 to 3 more ways to calculate material yield variance. But again, I find this approach as the easiest approach. That's why I'm referring this approach. I repeat again, material yield variance you can calculate in 2 to 3 ways. There is some alternate option given in study material also. But since I find this approach very easy and less time consuming, that's why I have used this approach. Okay, now see, when talking about the final analysis, we can say, okay, there is a loss in the material department of 275. Now, very important, there are two persons, either the purchase manager or production manager. The production manager has done a fabulous job, so he should be rewarded. The purchase manager has done a fabulous job, so he should be rewarded with incentive. Usko we can say that, okay, you purchased X at a competitive price, try to purchase Y also at a competitive price. So he should be rewarded and he should be encouraged to purchase Y also at a competitive price. Now, production manager, again, he's a senior most guy, so we can't remove him. So herein, we can say that, okay, please look into it. Be serious towards your work and job. When talking about engineer, somehow, somewhere he can escape. Okay, because there is a loss of 100 only. Somehow, somewhere he can say that, okay, I have changed the mix, but for the betterment of the company. Company ने बोला था कि 60-40 ratio रखना है. I have changed the mix, but let's say for the betterment of the product or for betterment of the company. So somehow, somewhere, engineer can also escape. But this guy, serious action should be taken against this guy, because herein he is ultimately contributing to this loss of basically loss of the material department. So when talking about standard costing, we can say it's a diagnostic report. See, suppose if you fall sick, what you guys do? You go to the doctor. आप अगर बीमार होते हैं, आप क्या करते हैं? डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं. Now, first thing what doctor will say, that go for a blood test. So once you go for a blood test, you get the detailed report that, okay, this is my this is my RDW, this is my platelet, this is my white blood cells. So once the doctor checks the report, and accordingly he prescribes the medicine. So similarly here in standard costing also, they do prepare a detailed report that where is the problem. जैसे किसी का white blood cells गड़बड़ होता है, किसी का platelet count गड़बड़ होता है, accordingly doctor prescribe medicine. So here in the standard costing also, we just figure out the detailed report, that what is the work done by the purchase manager, what is the work done by the production manager, what is the work done by the engineer and production supervisor. And accordingly, once the report is ready, just like doctor, the management do locate the problem, and accordingly they do take the corrective action. जैसे डॉक्टर मेडिसिन देता है उस प्रॉब्लम के लिए, वैसे मैनेजमेंट क्या करता है? They do take corrective action against the problem. So here this part needs serious attention by the management, so this need to be corrected. So he is the person ultimately responsible for this loss by the material department. More focus will be on the production supervisor. Either this guy need to be removed. I mean, This guy should be removed and we should place a correct guy at this part. So I hope this part is clear. This story is clear. So I hope now you guys can understand. I mean, you guys will be able to solve the question of material variances without formulas. Anyone having any doubts? Still, I'm just writing the formulas for your reference. Formulas now you can also print. Material cost variance. I repeat again, and then we will discuss the formulas also. How we calculated the material cost variance? That is 4,025 should be my cost and 4,300 is the actual cost. So how come 4,025 minus 4,300? 525 at the rate 5 minus 700 at the rate 4. So this is how we got basically the material cost variance. So what we actually did, 525 into 5 minus 700 into 4, 350 into 4 minus 300 into 5. So this is what? My standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price. So this is the formula that is given in study material. Now, I hope you guys are thorough that how come these formulas are derived. So that need to be checked. Production manager is responsible for the overall production of the company, my dear. When talking about the production supervisor, he is just concerned about using the material in an appropriate way, Rohan. Yes, if it is due to abnormal reason, then we need to fix it up, Priyanshi. So this is the formula that is given in the study material when talking about price variance. हम लोग क्या करते थे? क्या price होना चाहिए था? 5. What is my actual price? 4 into actual quantity. So when talking about price variance, standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. Again, this is the formula that is given in study material. Similarly, usage also. How much quantity was supposed to be used? Standard quantity. How much quantity we actually used? Actual quantity into standard price. In mix also, what should be my mix? 60:40. That is standard mix. I'll write the standard mix also for your reference. So 60:40 need to be 1000 need to be distributed in the ratio of 60:40. So that is 600 and 400. So 600 and 400 are my standard mix minus actual quantity into standard price. Now, material yield variance, as I said, there are many other ways to calculate yield variance. So when talking about the formula that is given in study material, I'm writing it here. The formula may differ from this calculation, but the final answer will be the same. So standard quantity minus standard mix into standard price. This is the formula that is given in the study material. That is standard quantity minus standard mix into standard price. So anyone having any doubts in material variances, you guys can please post, because I'll be putting up few questions in front of you and I want everyone to solve these questions. So waiting for your queries, whatever running in your mind, you guys can please post your queries. Yes, Rohan, Priyanshi, Tanu. Pooja, Hitesh, Meenu, any doubts? Mixed variance, ये जो actual input है, it should be in the ratio of 60:40. Again, there are no formulas. This actual input should be in the ratio of 60:40. This is what my actual input. Again, don't try to memorize the formulas, Rohan. Yes, 1000 should be in the ratio of 60:40. That is 600:400 minus this is the actual mix, that is 700:300 into my standard price. I hope it is clear, Rohan. Rohan. So now giving you 5 minutes time to copy everything. Please copy, do write your comments that what you have understood in your notebook. It will help you while revising. And further, again, every time you can't check the recorded lecture, so just do write your comments that what you have understood from this formula in your own language. It will help you a lot. And in the meanwhile, those who have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. It is standard mix minus actual quantity into standard price. Again, don't try to memorize the formula, Rohan. It is standard mix minus, this is my standard mix, 600 is to 400, minus my actual quantity, 700 is to 300 into standard price. I hope it is okay now, Rohan. I request you guys to please copy this explanation in detail. Apart from this, do write your comments or notes in the notebook that what you have understood. Accordingly, it will help you while revising this part. That I'll explain you, Priyanshi, but I hope you are thorough with the concept or you are running with these formulas. Yes, Priyanshi? Okay. Material field formula is standard quantity minus standard mix into standard price, Rohan. No, Rohan, this is the formula that is given in the study material. I have not written the formula for this calculation. Yes, Julie Kumari, Almas, anyone having any doubts? Sneha, Jayendra, Naina, any doubts? So fine, guys, let's discuss one question from study material. I request you guys to please open your study material. I'm discussing illustration number 3. The page number is 13.19. Illustration number 3. I'm discussing. I request you guys to please open your study material. I'm discussing illustration number 3, page number 13.19. So the standard cost of a chemical mixture is as follows: 40% of material A, 20 rupees, 60% of material B, 30 rupees. A standard loss of 10% of input is expected. The cost records for a period shows the following usage, wherein 90 kgs of material A at a cost of 18 and 110 kgs of material B at a cost of rupees 34 per kg. The quantity produced was 182 kgs of the good product. You are required to calculate material cost, price, and usage variance. So let's start with illustration number 3. So this is the budgeted data that is given in the question. Next is the actual data. So this is the question that is given in the material. Now my first question to all of you guys, are these two figures comparable? Yes or no? Waiting for your answers. So very good, Prem, Naina, Tanu, Meenu, Julie, Rohan. Very good, Prem. Very good, Hitesh, Almas. Yes, so we have to prepare revised standard. So what will be the revised quantity, standard quantity for A? Waiting for your answers. Very good, everyone. Very good. So what will be the standard quantity for A? Waiting for your answers. Still, I have not received answers. Waiting for your answers. Okay, so I have received answer from Rohan. Don't make it round off. It's okay. Even you can take it as rounded figure, but okay. So I've received answer from Rohan. Tanu, it's incorrect. I'm surprised. How come you are getting incorrect answer? Naina, your answer is also incorrect. Still, I can feel that many students are not thorough with the concept. Tanu incorrect, Naina incorrect, Meenu very good correct, Rohan correct. Rest everyone waiting for your answers. What will be the revised standard quantity? Sneha, correct answer. Naina, correct answer. Pooja, correct answer. Very good, Hitesh, correct answer. Very good, Priyanshi. Now it is correct. Very good. So Tanu and Naina waiting for your answers. Okay, Naina has already posted. Tanu waiting for your answer. Tanu, it is incorrect. See, again the same concept. Again the same concept. 40 for 90. 40 kgs for 90 units. So for 182 units, how much? The cross multiplication. So for A, cross multiply it. So 40 divided by 90 into 182. And for B, 60 divided by 90 into 182. So this will be 80.88. Very good. Now it is correct. And this will be 121.33. 80.88 and 121.33 into 20 into 30. So this will be 3640. This will be 1617.6. Very good, Almas. So our master chart is ready. Whenever you find a question on material variance, try to prepare this master chart. Very good, Priyanshi. So now let's start with material cost variance. Straight away, 5257.6 minus 5360. I'm writing the formula also, standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard price. So क्या cost में काम होना चाहिए था 5257.6, but actually we spent 5360. So how much extra? The work was supposed to be completed in 5257.6 rupees, but we took the actual cost is 5360. So that is 102.4. Priyanshi, please check your answer. So that is 102.4 adverse. Anyone having any doubts? Waiting for your queries? I hope this is a very easy question now for you guys. Very good, Gokul. Priyanshi, please recheck your answer. Very good, Tanu. Now again, two parts. As I discussed, material price variance. Again, क्या price होना चाहिए था? 20. What is the price we actually paid? 18. Into, very important, actual quantity. So this will be 180 favorable. Similarly, for B also, the same thing. The price which was set by the management, 30. The price we actually paid, 34, into the actual quantity. Why actual quantity? Because purchase manager has nothing to do with कि कितना क्वांटिटी यूज होना चाहिए था, कितना क्वांटिटी यूज हुआ. He is concerned about only the purchase requisition, that I have received this much requisition, so I have to purchase this much of quantity. That's it. So this will be 440 adverse. So 440 minus 180. So this will be 260 adverse. So this can be the balancing figure also, because material price plus usage is cost, and mix plus yield is usage. Anyways, we'll calculate material usage also. Similar, the simplest way again, how much quantity we were supposed to use? 80.88. How much quantity we actually used? 90. Similarly, how much quantity we were supposed to use? 121.33. How much quantity we actually use? 110 into 20 and 30. Very good, Tanu. Yes, Priyanshi, okay. So that is 182.4 adverse. Very good, Gokul. So see guys, 260 adverse, 157.6 favorable. The net amount will be 102.4. So material price plus material usage is material cost variance. You can check the total also, 260 adverse and 157.6 favorable. So net adverse will be 102.4. Very good. Many students are solving parallelly. Very good, guys. I'll be discussing variety of questions. I'll be putting up many tricky questions in front of you in the class. So I want everyone to solve the questions parallelly, those who are thorough with the concept. It's up to you. Both the approaches are correct, Sneha. Now, again, two parts. Okay. So when talking about the price variance, when talking about the formula, it is what? Standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. For usage also, standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard price. Now, next is material mix variance. So very simple, guys. How much is my actual input, total actual input? Can you guys tell me what is my total actual input and what should be the standard mix? Waiting for your answers. What should be my standard mix? When talking about mix variance, क्या mix होना चाहिए था और क्या mix हुआ? What is the actual mix? I know 90 and 110. You'll be taking the standard price 20 and 30. What should be my standard mix? Waiting for your answers. Very good, it is correct. Now, what should be my standard mix, Tanu? Very good, Almas. Correct answer. Rest all very good, Julie. Very good, Priyanshi. Please post the standard mix. You have posted the ratio. Rohan, it is incorrect. Uh, very good, Meenu. Rest all waiting for your answers. Quick, guys. Pooja, Priyanshi, Naina, Hitesh, Prem, Sneha, Almas. Okay, Almas has already posted. So Meenu, correct. Almas, Prem Kumar, very good, correct answer. Rohan, please recheck your answer. Rest all waiting for your answers. Everyone. Yes, Sunil Kumar, Shifa. Naina, very good. It is correct. Priyanshi, very good. Shifa, you have not posted the answer. Miss Pooja, still waiting for your answer. Tanu, please recheck. So see, 200 should be in the ratio of 40 to 60. So 200 in the ratio of 40 to 60. It means it is 80 and 120. So this will be 200 adverse and this is 300 favorable. So net 100 favorable. So 100 favorable and 157.6 favorable. So this will be 57.6 because the total of mix plus yield is what? Usage variance. So still let's calculate yield variance. Rohan, I hope this part is clear to you. You have posted incorrect answer, Rohan. Now yield variance. 182 units should be manufactured by using how much raw material? 202.21. This much quantity we were supposed to use and the quantity we actually used is how much? 200. Into the weighted average price. So 5257.6 divided by 202.21. I'm just taking the difference is because of the rounding of difference, Prem Kumar. So I'm just taking the balancing figure only. It is 57.46. I'm taking it as 57.6. The difference is due to decimals. When talking about mix variance, it is standard mix minus actual quantity into standard price. I hope this part is clear to you. I hope you guys are not trying to memorize the formulas. Anyone who is trying to memorize the formulas can please mention. I'll explain the concepts again. But yes, guys, try to make a note of it that do use the concepts only. It will help you a lot in your practical life also. And yes, it's very important from examination point of view. If the question are straight, you guys can apply formula. But if the questions are on the trickier part, you won't be able to apply formulas. Those who want to copy the explanation can please copy. This master chart is the key. Again, in the study material, the pattern to solve the question is a bit different. So this is the easiest way to solve the question. So I request you guys to copy the solution. I'll be posting a question now, so I want everyone to solve. So if you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post. Waiting for your queries, any conceptual queries, asking everyone individually. Yes, those who are over Zoom. Pooja, Shifa, Tanu, Hitesh, Jayendra, Neeraj, Prem, Rohan, Sunil, Julie, Meenu, Almas, Naina, Priyanshi, Sneha, Miss Tanmozi. Anyone having any doubts, guys? See, input से output कितना आता है? That is what it is, Rohan. Apart from this, anything else? Anyone else? Any doubts or queries? This is the easiest way to solve the question, guys. So whatever the presentation I'm using, no worries, Tanu, that's okay. It requires practice, but yes, stick to the concepts. If the questions are easy, you can apply formula. But if the questions are on the trickier side, the formulas won't work. So focus on the concept. Sometimes it happens that, okay, and since this is a new chapter for you guys, so it happens sometimes. That's okay. So a question for you now. Calculate material cost, price, and usage variance. Waiting for your answers. So let's see who answer first and correct and who posts the correct answer. First is not important. The correct answer is important. So waiting for your answers. I want every one of you to post your answers, be it right, be it wrong, whatever it is. I want answers from everyone. When I do address everybody's query, so I want everyone to post your answers. And I want correct answers from every one of you. So Julie Kumari is the first one to post answer. Cost variance. So let me check, Julie. So I think I've received correct answer from Sneha. Sneha, please post cost variance first. Okay, so Sneha, both your answers I think are, let me check. So Sneha Chawla, your cost variance is correct. Julie, please recheck your answer. Your answer is incorrect, Julie. So Sneha, both the answers are correct. Very good, Sneha. Naina, please recheck your answer. Naina, please recheck your answer. Sneha, answers are correct. Very good. Naina, now it is correct. Okay, Almas, please recheck your answer. Almas, please recheck your and please recheck your usage variance. So Julie, okay, let me check. Julie, please recheck your answer. Tanu, please recheck your answers. Pooja, please recheck your answer. So I have received correct answer from Sneha as of now. All the answers are correct, Sneha, be it cost, price, and usage. Sneha, you can proceed with the calculation of mix and yield. Nana, your answer is correct. I think it is price variance. Rest, Almas incorrect. Julie incorrect. Tanu incorrect. Pooja incorrect. Rohan incorrect. Pooja, it is correct now. Very good, Pooja. Hitesh, cost variance incorrect, my dear. So, Sneha, you can proceed with the calculation of mix and yield. Rest, everyone, please solve it again. Hitesh, incorrect. Pooja, your price variance is correct. Rohan, please check the solution again. Cost variance is incorrect, Pooja. Usage is, now it is correct, Pooja. Very good. So, Pooja and Sneha, both of you guys, answers are correct. Pooja and Sneha, you guys can please continue with the mix and yield variance now. Rohan, please recheck. Priyanshi, please recheck. Your usage variance, please recheck. Last 2 minutes for you guys, everyone. Last 3 minutes, in fact. It's 9:22, so till 9:25, I want everyone to post the answer. So, Mr. Almas, Neeraj Patel, Jayendra, where are you guys? Sunil Kumar, I have not received answer from you guys. Try to solve the questions on your own. Shifa, waiting for your answers. Jayendra Pukhale, Prem Kumar, Neeraj Patel, where are you guys? Waiting for your answers. Meenu. Sneha, let me check the mixed variance. Very good, Sneha. Tanu, please recheck your answer and post the correct answer. Jayendra Pokhale, waiting for your answer. Prem Kumar. It's a very easy question. Rohan, incorrect again. Yes, Prem Kumar, Jayendra, Meenu, Tanu, waiting for your answers. Neeraj Patel, I have not received answers from your end also. Miss Tanmoji. Jayendra, answer is incorrect. That's why I'm saying that do try to solve the question. Jayendra, incorrect answer. Sneha, let me check. Yes, Neeraj, waiting for your answer. Rohan, again incorrect. But no worries. I appreciate your efforts, Rohan. That's okay. Nana, incorrect answer. Cost variance. Okay, so now let's start with the solution. So my first question to everyone, just one answer, yes or no. Neeraj, incorrect. Why you posted so late? Yes, Neeraj. Okay, my first question to everyone. Very simple question. Are these two figures comparable? Yes or no? Waiting for your answers. Okay, as expected. So, Priyanshi, it is no. Nana, no. Tanu, no. Almas, no. Shifa, no. Meenu, no. No. Okay. Now, those who have mentioned no, see, I just want you guys to understand the concept in detail. So, those who have posted no, why no? Waiting for your answers. Why it is no? Yes. See, students, you will learn from your mistakes. So, okay, I want you guys to do mistake. So, if you'll do mistake, you'll be able to understand that, okay, this is what I was wrong and this is what the correct answer is. So, at least try to attempt every question. If you'll make mistake, then you will learn from your mistake. अगर आप attempt ही नहीं करोगे, तो correct या incorrect का कोई point ही नहीं है. So, okay, Priyanshi, output is different. Where is the output? Almas, where is the output? See, guys, in this question, no information is given as regards output. Yes, Rohan, tell me, where is the output? Prem Kumar, in material basis of comparison is what? Output. Where is the output in the question? See, in every question, you will not find normal loss. There are chances that in few questions, there will not be normal loss. So my question is very simple. Where is the output? Output hai kahan pe? So in this question, no information is given as regards output. So we will assume that the output is same. Prem Kumar, I want to correct you. Input is not the basis of comparison. Output is the basis of comparison. And since in this question, no information is given as regards output, so no need to prepare revised standard. We will assume that output same hai. So since no information is given in the question as regards output, so we will assume that the output is same. So If the output is same, next question for everyone. If the output is same, do we need to prepare revised standard? Yes or no? If the output is same, do we have to prepare revised standard? Very good. No. So at the end of the day, very simple. Price is 10 and 12. So 7,000, 3,600, 10,600. Herein also 9,600 and 2,500. So this will be 12,100. That's it. So this is my master chart, budget and actual. No need to prepare revised standard because we will assume that the output is same. It's done now, Tanu. So herein our master table is ready. This is the budgeted data. This is the actual data. And these two figures are comparable since no information is given as regards output. So herein, material cost variance. 10,600 minus 12,100. 1,500 adverse. Material price variance. Very simple. 10 minus 12. 12 minus 10 into 800 and 250. So this will be 1,600. This will be 2,500. Sorry, this will be 500. So this will be 1,100 adverse. Material usage variance. $700 minus 800 into 10. 300 minus 250 into 12. So this is 1,000 adverse. A very simple question. Miss Shifa, I want you to post the answers. Please try to solve the question and post your answers. Mix again 1,050 should be in the ratio of 70:30. This will be 735. This will be 315 minus 800 and 250 into 10 and 12. The work was supposed to be completed in 1,000 kgs. We completed in 1,050 kgs into. So you guys can calculate the answers. Those who want to copy the solution can please copy. So the point is, I always I always repeat the same thing again and again, that do write your comments, do prepare your notes while writing the explanation what I'm giving. See, I have mentioned it more than 100 times. First, check the output. Prem Kumar, you mentioned that inputs are not same. So herein, always remember, when talking about material variances, the basis of comparison is what? Output. Output check कीजिए, अगर output है ही नहीं, तो we will assume that it is same. So काफी students, most of the students, what you guys did, you started calculating revised standard. Using what? Inputs. The basis of comparison is output or input. It is output, not input. See, here and very important, very well said, Tanu. Is this output or input, Tanu? 1000 and 1050 क्या है तनु? It's output or input? Input. And in material, basis of comparison is what? Yes, Tanu. In material, basis of comparison is what? So you know the answer now. Priyanshi sir, I know Sneha, all your answers are correct, and Sneha is the first one to answer, and all the answers were correct. Very good, Sneha. See, in material mix, we are taking standard mix, not revised standard. In material mix, as I said, what should be the mix? Mix किससे calculate करते हैं? Input से. But revised standard किससे calculate करते हैं? Output से. I hope it is clear, Priyanshi. When talking about revised standard, we uses output. But when talking about standard mix, we uses input. Ji, madam. I hope it is clear now. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the session and you enjoyed the concepts. Again, many students were facing problem that it's very difficult to learn the formulas of standard costing. So I hope this part is clear to all and you are thorough with the concepts. I'll be discussing few more questions on material cost variances. So be prepared, do revise what I have discussed in today's session. Again, few new questions are coming to you guys tomorrow. In fact, day after tomorrow. Apart from this, I'll be discussing few missing figure questions also. So I want you guys to revise what I have discussed till now. Solve the same two questions twice by using concepts rather than applying formula. Rest, don't worry, you will be able to solve all the questions. So guys, thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. Okay, 1 second. You can take Rohan. So now, again, I request you guys to revise the concepts. Try to solve the two questions what I have discussed today. All the three questions I have discussed today. Try to solve it on your own, applying the concepts, because tomorrow, again, I'll be putting a few new questions, new variety of questions, which you will be able to solve only if you are thorough with the concepts. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you guys day after tomorrow with few more questions and few more concepts. Take care, guys. God bless you.